What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. It's match day. Juve and Monza is set to do battle today, and there is no room for error for Juve, not just in this one, but almost down the line as we chase top four. We got a ton of news picking up around the team, some interesting bits and some interesting questions that the Army has brought up over the past couple shows that we have to dive in a little bit more. And yes, it has certain young talents tied to it. So we're going to have a lot of fun today and tackle it all and get ready for this match today. And yes, there is going to be a watch along today for the match. I'm happy to be back into the swing of things, all right? And I've got Sev and Omer with me today. Sev, how you doing, brother?
I'm jacked, bro. I'm jacked. I'm ready.
Love it.
Jacked.
Love it. Just jacked. Straight up jacked. Loved it. Absolutely love it. Omer, how you doing, brother?
Phenomenal. Yeah, I'm great. Good morning to you guys. Good afternoon for me.
I must have missed
And
the
yeah,
memo on a home kit and a Juve hat. Seven Omer here doing me dirty like this and left me like a scrub here with just a Principino shirt here. It's okay.
Well,
It's
hey,
okay.
look, you matched. I got him on too.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, Marquisio on the back. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
good.
We're handling Kefren
Oh,
Turam on
yeah.
the back of the home there. Love it. Love it.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Now, Army, great to see you all in here. We got obviously everybody getting the same vibes, you know, a big victory needed to gain confidence for the upcoming ones, which are, of course, Bologna, Lazio. Ciao, Adam Khan. Ciao, Matteo C here. Ciao, ciao. I don't know how I should feel, excited or frightened once again with these players. Tuna, don't worry about it, man. Never be frightened. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. We got our boy, our gaming coming in here. Hey, man, we live. What's up? From South Africa. Can't wait for the match. Will you be live, Berto? I will be live, brother. All right. I will be live. We will be rocking the watch along. All right. So without further ado, let's get into some of the topics and discussions around the team. Obviously, in the news section, yesterday was a heavy day around the attack. We've known for a while who the names have been, okay? When you're hearing names like Osimhen, Retegui, Jonathan David, Liam Delap, Hoyland on a potential loan, a lot of names floating around there as options for Juventus. Yesterday, we started to hear that because of the obvious circumstances around a guy like Osimhen, David with high demands, Juve already, according to the credible guys out there, letting Jonathan David's entourage know that we ain't going to meet your demands, but we'll come somewhere close. The news is starting to pick up around Retegui, who's been kind of one of these names that's always been associated, but he never caught the steam to like be up there like, he's like up around the top until, of course, yesterday. But he carries a 50 million euro price tag on his head from Atalanta. We still all have PTSD from dealing with Atalanta this past summer over Colt Miners. I don't know if he should be the 1A option. Guys, 50 million euros, Retegui. Now keep in mind, he would still be less annually than Osimhen or Jonathan David. He is leading Serie A with, 23 goals right now in league play. Omer, 50 million euros, Retegui, would you be happy with that as a 1A?
Well, yes and no. I mean, going off what we've seen this season and the past season, even to some degree for the Azzurri, he's been fine. He's been actually great. But like we've been duped into those types of deals before. Now, what's he going to be? Another what's his face? The Polish guy played for Genoa and then Milan. Krzysztof Piątek. Is he another Vlahovic? How different is he from the Vlahovic we bought for 70 million? So I don't know. It's risky. I can't say that. Okay, it seems like the focus is shifting to where it should be. Is Retegui the answer? I don't know. It's a bit. I mean, we already come to learn that one good season isn't enough. It will be another gamble, another player from the Gasperini system, more money to Atalanta. I mean, there are some red flags here, uh, but you can't base your purchases on what you think would happen because of what happened to other players, and that way you won't get anyone ever. If they are going to spend 50 million, fine, let it be up top. That's where we're lacking the most.
Yeah. And Sev, 50 million Retegi.
Besides the Atalanta shit that I don't want to deal with anymore, he's actually the one that I kind of like the most out of all the options with the Osimhen's and the David and all that. It's the Atalanta shadow that looms over his head. Like, I don't want to deal with those fucks anymore. Like, I'm just so sick of dealing with them after last year. So who does these release clauses? Like, who the hell approved a $50 million release clause on a guy who's getting paid $2 million a year?
I don't think it's a release clause. It's just the price tag they've set on him. They purchased him
Oh,
for
is that
like
is that all it is?
17 million euros. So they're
God.
looking to turn it around quickly. And obviously, now would be the time while he's top of the league in scoring, right? So Atalanta's doing what Atalanta does. They don't care about like who it is or what. It's all about capitalizing on that. And for whatever, this is what's made Atalanta catch attention and catch eyes, is the fact that it doesn't matter who the hell goes in there. They just perform. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. De Catalare coming in there and doing all right, although he has slumped and had a big drop off too. So even he's gotten down. But Lookman was an outcast coming from, where did he come from? The Prem, I believe, and then to Atalanta.
I think Leicester, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
was it Leicester? I can't recall but there might have been a couple sides in England there. The list goes on and on. I mean, Retegui with what, Genoa, 31 appearances. I mean, he was catching attention, but he had like 9 goals, 3 assists, and yeah, it's Genoa, but the numbers are just crazy since joining Atalanta, and he's become a guy that everyone's saying should be the top option for the Azzurri moving forward. 50 million though. God, I would have, if I go back to last summer, I would have liked to strike on him at 25 million euros. I said, you know what? I would like that move for us. 30, it was like, okay, a little bit much, but I'm still okay with that. They got him for 17 million euros, and I always said it since day one that they're not gonna, like, Juve's never gonna get that deal for 17 million euros. But 50, I don't think I'd do it. Here's my issue, and I've been saying it all along. I don't really like any of the names that we're being tied to, if I'm being quite honest. And I think I'm still gonna stand firm that Jonathan David is probably the one I would go for out of the bunch as my 1A option. And I kind of still feel that way. You might have to give in a bit on some of the demands, but the bonuses, at least there's flexibility in how you structure it, and you should still come in close to what you want your annual cost to be for your 1A option. But Osimhen, I'm like a no. I have a lot of hesitations there. I don't like the big splashing. Anymore for us.
You brought it up earlier in the week, Berto, on one of your dailies. How does it work out financially if we do the free David as opposed to the 50 million on Retegui? Like, does it balance out because he gets such a low salary?
Well, Jonathan David's demands are like up in the air because you have contradictions as
he wants
to
like
what
Dusan
he's
money,
actually asking. But I think I've always been under the assumption it's close to 7 million net is what he wants, right?
Oh, so almost Dusan money.
So it's
Dusan's
higher
what, 11
than
net?
Well, no, Dusan's at like 10 net. Next year it goes to 12 in his final year, so it's crazy.
Jesus.
We're still saving there, but Retegui with a 50 million price tag, depending on what the contract is, he's currently at, I believe it's 2.8 million salary. I mean, you're not going to be, if you're, it's a 50 million contract, depending on the term, he might end up potentially, depending on what the price is on his, he could come out to somewhere annually that's right around the same as Jonathan David. Like they could come out close, right? So you're asking, do you want the guy that's leading Serie A right now? Is he only leading Serie A because he's a product of that system, like benefiting from the Atalanta thing? Is that going to crash? Jonathan David carries the different question marks. Well, he's playing in France, whatever. Although he's been amongst the top guys the past year in Europe, and it includes Champions League. It's the situation we're kind of facing here, but I don't know. For me,
Yeah,
I'd be okay with Retegui. I just don't want to overextend for anybody. Jonathan David, if we can get it close to the terms we want, I'd be happy. I'd be fine with that move. And I believe that David, and then we get into the backups, like the 1B options. It's being named as Lorenzo Luca and Kristovic being the top two for the 1B options. They both carry a value of 25 million euros. That's interesting because that price tag could go down on Kristovic. And if they get relegated, they also want Adzic. We're willing to loan Adzic, not send him away. Everybody that's on the young guys, calm down. We're not going to just say goodbye, but a loan that could take off some of the fees. And Lorenzo Luca, there's the potential for us to give a player to Udinese to bring it down even further. Out of the 1B options, who do you prefer? Omer?
I prefer Kristovic. It's that damn penalty incident with Luca that just rubs me the wrong way. I hate it when players do that. But if we do end up taking him, okay, it's not the worst thing in the world. He still have his whole career of it ahead of himself to prove to us or whoever that he's good enough. What I'm getting from it is just too many names, and some of them are recycled over and over again. I don't believe any of them is like real target right now for Juve. I believe they're checking their options.
Yeah.
To me, to allude to what you were saying, it's if those are Juve's targets, they don't seem like they are trying too hard. Like you can dig a little deeper. You don't have to go for the Osimhen's and Hoyland's and whatever happened to Xerxes and his name suddenly disappeared with Mota. But it's the same names we're hearing for the past 1, 2, 3 seasons. We had that before with like Icardi and Milik and all those guys who played in the league. I don't think Juve would go for any of them, to be honest. And I wish they would dig a little deeper in other leagues and see how other players are performing, and not go and spend 50, 60, 70 and pay that to a rival team, to another young, possibly Dusan.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah. I'm a little...
Sev, who would you prefer out of those from Luka and Kristovic? Obviously, Omer picking Kristovic.
I guess at this point, number one, Luka is never going to pull that bullshit with Juve, with the penalties and all that stuff. I think he was doing that to just get a rise out of everybody. But the Osimhen thing kind of has to die down in my brain, because if we all want Conte, that means no Osimhen. You're not going to have both on this team. So if we're all shooting for Conte, Osimhen is out. It's not even an option. So I hate to go back to it, but I kind of think we should do the Retegui and Luka. Those would be mine.
So you would overextend on the 50 then? And go with Retegui out of the bunch?
I don't, only because of I'm not that big on Kristovic.
Yeah.
I don't know, like on him.
I'm kind of feeling like we should have a difference in profiles. I'm cool with Luka, and I'd want somebody like Jonathan David there. And that way you have kind of like, and the option for them to play together is there as well.
I'd be fine with those two.
and go that route. I think a little bit of contrast would probably go well. Luka is a guy that some have made the comments here already in the chat, and they're right. I mean, he's going to be service dependent. That's been an issue with all the guys that we've had currently, right?
He's a baby
but
Duchan.
We've also had an issue with set pieces, though, and that's a huge target that if you can't find Lorenzo Luca, then you're not going to find anybody, because that guy's a monster in aerial battles. And yeah, I'd like to see some contrast there, but that's where it's kind of at so far in the attack. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a name that we don't even get to that all of a sudden enters the mix. This is just what's floating around right now, but Juve's going to have some interesting decisions to make, and top four is an absolute must, as we know, as we continue on. But we have other targets to talk about. Giovanni Leone, who impressed a lot of Juventini with that performance against us, sadly, where Parma defeated us 1-0, but promising young Italian defender. His price tag apparently set at 15 million euros. You have to go in on that if you're Juve.
15?
15? You have to.
You possibly have to, but I think like a week and a half ago, there was like an interview with Parma's owners, and he said Juve didn't contact them last summer, but if they did, he would have asked for like 100 million for Leone, something along those
this
lines.
Is the classic nonsensical interviews
absolutely.
that these guys do around this anti-Juve nonsense, and it's just like, okay.
Exactly.
The players' will always come into effect.
It won't be 100 million, but I also doubt it would be 15 million. My guess is it would be something along the 20, 25 lines. But it was good. It's hard for me to look at a defender against like Dusan and our attack in general and say, yeah, he was killing it. I need to see him against like other teams, because Dusan is getting bodied by whatever 20-year-old who's marking him. So it's really hard to gauge. And I haven't watched Parma enough, but the hype is here. I mean, I have been hearing about him since at least January.
Yeah. For 15 million euros, though, if you're going to make a move on a young, promising talent, that's the price tag to do it on.
For 15, exactly. I will do it for 15.
Yeah, that's the price tag. The issue becomes the other clubs that are interested in Leone, apparently Inter being one of them. And this has been brought up by many, many Juve fans, okay? And that is, what on earth would be the allure to Juventus right now when we are seemingly broken, is how some Juventini have put it, in terms of the attraction and the allure to these players, and choosing us over teams that are already established. They're not in progress. They're not building. And it's a fear that they have in landing the targets that they want. How do you guys feel when you hear that? Do you think that the allure has definitely taken a massive blow?
I'll start here, Omar. I think we have the media to thank for that, number one, because the media just constantly makes us look like there's mayhem here constantly. So thank you to the media for that. And then whenever we do get an interview out of somebody at the higher brass of Juve, everything is toned down. Everything is toned down. Let's straighten out the optics. Let's make us look like there's harmony here. So it's constant damage control, where I don't understand. There's got to be some truth to some of it, and there's got to be some non-truth to it. So here's my take. Let's find out exactly what's really going on, because we thought it was with Motta, we thought it was with Allegri. Now we get one loss, and it's happening again, where now we have to worry about players who don't want to come here because of all this mayhem and because of all this craziness that supposedly goes on here. But that's a big problem, because for the most part, everybody wanted to play for Juve. We've always seen this, right? Like any big star that we've ever gotten, they all say Juve is one of the biggest clubs in the world. This is one of the most successful clubs in the world. But if this is true, that now players are actually second guessing. Oh, maybe I'd rather go to Inter. Look at them. They're fighting for the what do you call that? The all three champions.
Well,
The
not
Oh,
Copa anymore. They're
not
out.
anymore.
not anymore, but I'm saying up until this point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's my thing. It's like I don't want to fucking lose a player to Inter because of this supposed mayhem that's constantly going on with sponsorship and with gambling and with the team declining. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. You know how you beat all of this? You win. You win every game, and that's where you put an end to all of it.
Yeah, well, you got to get the shit built properly to win.
Well, yeah.
You can't just
Yeah,
say it, win, and that's the thing is you're trying to target guys that will help you in the future and do so, and you might be losing them because of this, right? But Omar, what do you think about the whole allure thing?
I don't think it's that bad as it seems. I mean, teams go through phases where they're not doing quite well. So yeah, there's less allure even to big teams. And when it rains, it pours. When it's shit on the pitch, then all the other stuff comes popping out of the background of the dressing room and management and whatever. So I mean, there are teams that had this allure once and not anymore, but you have to do that for a long time. Now, this is not mainly a Juve problem; it's a Serie A problem. The league is bleeding right now, and they're not doing a whole lot to fix it
That's a good point
outside
too.
of weird campaigns and stuff. It's Serie A in general. Now, if Juve starts winning, then the allure comes back, and it's not that far in history. I mean, there are a lot of people here in the chat or here regularly who fall in love with the Juve of the past decade. That's not so long ago. So there are players around the world who grew up watching that Juve, falling in love with them, becoming new fans. We're not like at an Ajax position where it's been decades, apart from the odd season here or there, but the allure has died down for them. Because we watch football in the 90s, we know what Ajax were in the 90s, what were Sampdoria or some other clubs who have just died down because the league became just not interesting. But Juve are a huge club, well known around the world. I don't think it has died down. If we start winning, the allure is back. If we sign Conte, the allure is back. Zidane, Klopp, you name every manager that's out there right now and is linked to Juve, the allure comes back. So I don't think it's like a huge thing on Juve's part. Just when it rains, it pours. But there is an issue with the league in general that should be fixed, and Juve will come to the rescue as always. The allure will come back when Juve will decide to help the league and actually make
I'm
something out of it.
like, as far as the allure goes, there's a lot of different feelings I kind of got towards it. I mean, in response to Sev's comments with the media and the media creating that whatnot, you still as a management team kind of control narratives. The fact is that Juve's allowed everyone to control the narratives for far too long. If it gets to a point where you feel, and obviously these guys will know because when they go to approach these players, the truth will come out. But the truth is that Juve hasn't had an issue getting agreements with the players that they're trying to bring in. Like, how many guys over this past period have we heard have said no to Juve? Like, everyone's like, we have an agreement in place. We have an agreement in place. We have an agreement in place. I don't think the allure is hurt as bad as people make it seem, because us as fans, and yes, I'm guilty of it, we could take things to a higher degree in both aspects, positively and negatively. That's the nature of the beast when you're a fan. You can take things way too high, you can take things way too low, but we haven't had issues getting agreements for players coming in, finding terms, etc. It's the dealings with other clubs that might be affected, etc. But in terms of allure, this season maybe being hurt with how things shook up potentially, but management is in control, and our management has been a little bit too absent and this is the same thing we've been saying for quite some time, that all that eventually does kind of bleed down. You want to maximize the allure. Where was the allure in Motta joining? Since he couldn't even bring any one of the guys from Bologna over. Calafiori jumped so damn quick at that Prem money, it wasn't even funny. Because we would have made the move. The second it went to 50 because they stepped in and he had his terms, boom. So Motta brought zero allure. Xerxes jumped. He's gone. It's like the coach will play a part. So Conte, does he have more allure if he was to be the next guy over Igor Tudor? Will Igor Tudor have an allure to players? I don't know. Remains to be seen. But Conte, I believe Conte would bring through his history some type of allure. Management absolutely needs to have some type of allure there. Giorgione, okay? Chiellini getting involved in a more impactful role in upper management will absolutely help. It will absolutely help. This guy has been named should be a professor at the School of Defending, according to some of the best coaches in the world. If you're a defender and Chiellini calls you, you're probably going to take it pretty damn seriously. But it shouldn't end there. And the management team that we bring should have an aura about them that screams Juve. That screams something that like, yes, I want to be a part. I want to be a part of this. I want to be with you guys. Who the hell is going to do that for Scanavino, Ferrara, Elkan? Even Agnelli carried an aura to him. That was like, man, this guy is all business.
Yeah, that's the thing. I fail to see how a team that have signed Ronaldo not that long ago, like the best player in the world, everyone wanted him, goes that fast to no player who wants to come. I think Juve still have its allure. Maybe it's a bit damaged at the moment. It can be rebuilt. But the manager will have a huge saying that the management, like remember Alex Ferguson calling Del Piero, like when you want your big guys, you need someone with a name, someone that when he calls, they will listen. And Chiellini is that guy. Del Piero can be that guy. Buffon can be that guy. Yeah. Guys who are appreciated worldwide, and every 20-year-old who grew up recently knows who are they. So yeah, we can have the tools, just little fixing needed up in the management.
One more thing in Italy, and this is where I will, because I normally have been saying the nationality thing, I get it. A lot of Juventini want more Italians, but that does play in, especially if you're looking at Giovanni Leone. If you had more ties to the Azzurri, stronger bond, more Italians in there, they're more willing to come and play with those guys as well. Mm-hmm. I feel, personally, from what I see.
Well, that's why a lot of us want Luca, right? To keep that going. Has Luca made the Azzurri since he's come up or no?
No.
Not even but he's on the minor league Azzurri, isn't he?
I know I haven't followed him.
No.
A whole lot. But I can check it.
There's no minor leagues. I mean, if you're talking
the younger generation, whatever it is.
U19s, how old is he? I don't know how old Luca is, but no, I don't think so. He might have been with...
No. Okay, it seems like he had 3 matches with the Azzurri at the UEFA Nations League. 0 goals, 0 assists. And then the U21 of Italy. Like 5 matches.
So 3 call-ups he's had.
Yeah.
He's 24 years old. So he isn't in like any U19 or whatever, U17. Like he's 24.
Wow, he's that old. Holy crap.
He's 24.
All right.
So I had to look that up too because I felt like he was 22.
Me too. But back to the allure thing, I think that also we could go to the sponsorship thing as well. Like, we originally wanted like 40-something million for our next sponsor. And Now it looks like we're going to go back to Jeep. But why did Jeep give us that much? Do you remember Ronaldo came that year? So that was the allure, right? Like that was our major sponsorship of it. So we're not able to get even a sponsor to give us what we wanted originally money-wise because we don't have that star attraction allure, So I think there's definitely something there. I really
And
do.
we don't
and like
have
I
a
said,
star player. I mean, we went over this on the roster. I mean, the only star player is Bremer.
Exactly. I was just going to say
There
that.
is no
Bremer's
star.
our only
There
star.
are no stars on this team. There's young up and coming stars in Yildiz, but there's no actual superstar right now. Bremer is the closest to a right now ready superstar.
Yeah.
Bremer.
And Yildiz is like maybe a year or two away from that.
Hopefully.
And that's about it. And that's about it.
With us.
It was supposed to be Vlahovic and Coop
Yeah.
Miners and Nico and Douglas, the older guys who were supposed to be in their prime, but none of them have stepped up. So we're left with a guy who's been injured all season. He's still the only
Douglas
star.
Luiz, for the most part, up until this year, was starting for Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, even starting for Brazil right now isn't saying much because they've been in not the Brazil of old.
Unfortunately, the main allure for clubs right now is mainly money. If you have the money, you have the allure. That's the issue. We tried that route. Okay, it didn't work out quite as well as we planned. I don't think we have the luxury of trying it again and aiming for like top stars. Need to be a lot more calculated.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But the allure, I don't think, is as damaged as some make it. I think it'll still be just fine. You're still history as well. I mean, you're still going to be up. You're still going to be up. And you'll have to battle those other guys. But that battle has always waged on. Sandro Tonali spoke about it not too long ago when he signed for Milan. And he said they were all in the mix. He says Juve made a hell of an approach. He says I was very damn close to signing for Juventus. And
if you look at, we all shit on Manchester United for the last few years. There's still a lure there. Players are still running to go to
money.
What's that?
Money.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it's mainly money.
Yeah, because that.
Like if you could sign
but
Ronaldo,
again, that's a perfect point to what many of our fears have been, and that's management. If Juventus continues to be run the way it is, it's a slippery slope to falling into that trap and actually literally becoming that, where your history and what you could do financially becomes your only type of allure. And that's a fucking scary thought.
Yeah.
Because that's what Man U has done. Man U has had a management issue for so damn long, and they've been throwing coaches into the fire and under the bus, and players coming and falling apart and crumbling, and it's just like to the point where I don't want any players after they leave Man U. No more.
Even when we signed Ronaldo, Agnelli had to be involved. Like there are signings when you talk to those big stars. I don't think we can. 7 years ago, we could have signed Ronaldo. We can't sign an Mbappe right now.
No.
We couldn't even sign like prime Ronaldo. We could have signed him when he was 33, and it still cost a lot of money. But you do need to have some sort of character and a known figure in the management to perform those type of things. Like if you want to get like a De Bruyne, for example, and all the offers he's going to get, probably you need someone, with a bit more allure than Giuntoli.
I've been shining a light bigger on Elkan as of late, and I do like what I'm hearing out of Tether. So Tether, if anybody missed it in the news updates, has now bumped up to 10.1% ownership through shares in Juventus. That is second only to Exor. they are not done there. They want to be on the board. They want to be part of Juve's board. They're also ready, willing, able to help in any future recapitalization of the team for the
Where
squad.
did those guys come from? Like sent from heaven, those guys to save us
Well, the rumors
out
are
of
that
nowhere.
Agnelli, even from afar, has his fingers in this one and is brought tethered to Juventus even while he's dealing with his own court cases, etc. But that's exactly what you need, because if you're about to not qualify for top four, potentially, hopefully that's not the case, but you got guys willing and able to come in here. Exor has said, Elken has said for some time, I'm done. Like, I don't want to put any more money. But a few weeks ago he says, no, I've got a bond. It's ready to go to 100 million to kind of protect things. Maybe, hopefully, potentially stop us from selling players we don't want to. Well, these guys are ready to do the exact same. So now you're not on your own, which is huge for Exor. If these guys want to be part of the board, do it. It seems like they care. However, I will tell them this. When you provide a write-up about Juventus, it's 38 goddamn Scudetti, not 36. So Tether, smarten up. One of those just for that write-up, okay? You get it there just for that write-up. Smarten up. It's 38. But I appreciate you're willing to help, and I will gladly take your money for the club, okay? So there's some positives. There's some positives lingering around here, okay? We have to take care of business, though. We get to the Monza match. It's Juve, it's Monza. We'll look at projected lineups. We'll talk about this game here because that's what it really comes down to the most. All the rest is noise. It's going to come down to these guys and taking care of business. I was so pissed off over what I saw against Parma. A Parma that was missing 8 players. This was reminiscent to the Coppa Italia match that we lost to Empoli when they had
Empoli, yep.
second stringers, third stringers in there. That felt the exact same way, and I was just infuriated. And yes, that's all involved. That's Tudor for the planning, but more so on that match, like, these players, come on, you guys. Win the match. Like, beat the guy across from you that you're supposed to be superior to. And this is my thing with the roster. While everybody's still shitting on the roster, and yes, I concede we do not have superstars. I concede that it needs work. It's not complete. I said all of this. However, you're still dropping games to teams with inferior rosters. So even if you're shitting on the roster or whatever, it's more than enough to get by a Parma that might be tricky to play away from home that is missing 8 guys. It's still get the job done. Bottom line.
Well,
How many
it's that.
how many stars do Bologna and Lazio have? I mean, that's like a non-argument.
Bologna's got a worse roster than last year.
Yeah, and they're doing
Doing better.
Like, I'm gonna trickle it down more to, I feel like we've become so scoutable, and by that I mean, like, we're so easy to fucking read, where all you have to do is, oh, we're playing Juve this week. Oh, let's just buckle down in that 5-3-2, low block. They have no creativity. They have nothing. They have no, they don't know what to do in that final third. We'll let them beat themselves, and then we'll just counter and squeeze out a little goal and either get a tie or actually get the win like they did last week. We're just too scoutable. We're too predictable.
I will tell you that if we are losing today's match, I think that's it for me for the season. Like, it's over.
Hot take from Omer today. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
I think it's done.
Let's go.
Like, if you can't beat even Monza when you have to, absolutely have to, I just have no faith going into Bologna, Lazio, whatever. That would be it for me for this season. And I'll probably watch the matches, but I'm still excited. Like, okay, top 4 is the objective right now. Okay, I'm all in. I'm watching the matches. I'm here on the podcast. I'm talking to people on Twitter or whatever. If we lose this one, then that's it for the season, and we'll talk again at the Club World Cup.
Well,
But we are winning today.
the good
Okay,
news is
that's
we're
I
winning
the
today. Okay,
best
so
part.
we don't have to
Yeah,
lose you, Omer. Okay, we don't have to lose you. But I get it. It sucks. It sucks. I mean,
yeah,
and Monza is literally like last place team. You have to win. There's little room for error. Some would say no room for error for Juventus. You got to get the job done. Monza heads into this one, obviously heading into relegation. I mean, winless since January, everybody. Winless since January. They've collected just 2 points from their last 13 matches. If you need a friggin' confidence building game, this is it going into Bologna Lazio. It won't get any better. They're a mess. Okay? They've been missing key players, Keita Balde, Matteo Pessina. They're going to rely on Motta and Caprari up front. And Motta can actually be a handful. So we do have to be aware there with Motta. But they're going to need a hell of a performance for them, which they haven't been able to come anywhere close to, again, since January. So we really got to take care of business. They've been one of the least productive teams in the league, averaging like less than a goal per game, 0.76. And again, missing key guys. We gotta get the job done. Speaking to what Sev said and predictability, well, 3-5-2 coming in from Monza, and that's going to be that same style Parma played, and we're going to have to come up with the answers. We're going to have to come up with the solutions. So you got to take care of business. When we look at Monza, this is what we were expected to see. Obviously, Turati, their keeper, Pereira, Calderola, Carboni as your 3 center backs. You're going to have Birindelli, Castrovilli, Bianco, Akpro, and Christiakopoulos out in the middle. Motta, Caprari up top. So the game plan is going to be obviously quite obvious from Monza as to what they're going to do. No surprises there. This is what we're going to see. For Juventus, there's nothing left to be said in this one. After the disappointment against Parma, this one has to be a strong showing and something that we can carry into the tricky back-to-back to kick off May against Bologna and Lazio. And Tudor is set to call upon these guys. This is what he's expected to go with. Di Gregorio in goal. Kalulu, Vega, Kelly, as we should all expect, as your 3 center backs. McKennie, Locatelli, Thuram, Cambiaso across the middle. Nico Gonzalez, Kenan Yildiz, and Muani up top. Any changes you would like to make to this lineup, fellas? Some people are saying yes. Mac shouldn't start, and he should probably sit one out.
I agree.
You do agree?
I agree. Yeah, Mac should sit this one out, or at least come on as a sub. Nico, okay, it's debatable. Maybe he should move to that McKennie spot. He was actually doing fine there against Monza. Maybe it's more effective, and I would let Chico play.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But if you want Gonzalez out,
Agreed.
then Wea instead of McKennie. The rest, I mean, defense is defense, attack is attack. There aren't a lot of options. Yildiz is kind of a lock. Colomwani is the only striker available. Yeah, I would go with that.
I would definitely agree with you. I'd put Chico next to Yildiz there with Colomwani up top. Chico seemed to be the only guy that had a sniff of creating anything in the last game and was willing to actually take the shots. Other guys were passing up all friggin' game. Put him in there. I'd even have Adzic before watching Nico Gonzalez in that role again, and I'm fine with Nico playing on the outside. I'm also fine with Wea playing on the outside there if we have to, but that's probably the only change I would make, and I would have a very short leash on Cambiaso. I don't know about you guys, but a very short leash. He was invisible the last game. Brutal to see.
Yeah, Cambiaso needs to really like he just has had so many games in a row where he just becomes a ghost out there, and I don't care that he runs. He's doing the back and forth. That's what a wingback is supposed to do, but that doesn't make it right because every touch he had was terrible. And I want to go back to something you guys just brought up with the whole Nico thing and the McKennie thing. The Nico, he's like, it seems like he's going to die in a hill with Nico in that spot because he refuses to switch him out. And is this like a Chico bullet in the gun type move where he constantly just keeps him as like a last resort type thing? Almost like what Allegri was doing with Chiesa and Yildiz that year, where he kept starting one and keeping like another one in the back, like just ready to, when we need a goal, I'll bring him in. It's a little frustrating.
It feels like
this whole-
every manager that comes in like sets their lineups with this degree of fear. Because it's like Nico,
Well said.
I feel, is like the option out of the guys that's like gonna give you as close to like a midfielder defensive work. And I think if Colt Miners was available, he'd be starting over all of them in that place, which
is
I
sad.
don't agree with. It's like we're half committed to everything because of this fear defensively, and I think that Tudor carries that the same. And it's just like these are attacking roles. Play your attackers. I mean,
It was the
Well,
same
I'll-
with Mota. Mota used to stick Nico out there on the left, even though Yildiz was available, and it just kept on going with him, at least for the last month, where things felt like they were coming to an end with Mota. He was just hell-bent on playing Nico no matter what. Maybe it says a lot about Nico, the way he conducts himself in training or whatever, but I fail to believe it's just a coincidence that those two managers, who are completely different in their approach, keep playing him. It has to be
Well,
something
I'll
we
ask you
just
both-
can't see or don't know
I'll
about.
ask you
it's
both
it's
this. If
great
you're an
that you can
opposing-
respect a player, that you can like a player, that you can appreciate his approach in training and in games. But if it doesn't work on the pitch, then it's all for naught. He has single-handedly, and I almost jinxed the guy, but I called it before the Parma match. I said in that role, he literally shits the bed at all the most critical moments. And he did exactly that for the entire match that he was out there. He
Well,
did
I'll
his
ask
best
you this.
work when they put him on the outside.
Exactly. So now I'll ask you this, both of you. If you're the opposing team, are you more scared of a Chico coming in the 60th minute or a Nico Gonzalez coming in at the 60th minute?
Chico, absolutely.
Chico.
Right. So I think that's Tudor's mindset. I think that's what he's doing.
It could be.
I think
but
there's
the
a lot of
problem is you got a
contract
team
stuff
that's not
and-
creating without
Right.
at
That's
all.
the
Like that's the kicker. Is like, man, in theory, if you got this much respect, if you have this much admiration for Nico, he should be able to do it too.
Right.
In theory,
Exactly.
Well, funnily enough, he did score in the last match against Monza, one of his 2 goals, and we had a goal from a corner, which is also rare. So the last match against Monza was
What's that
actually
like?
historic. Yeah,
it's just
in terms of this season.
it's crazy for me. But like you've got to continue with something that hasn't brought out the best in the group. Yeah, questions are going to be asked because you've got to get the job done. I'm sorry.
It's a very weird issue. I agree. It's a very weird issue with Nico, Chico, and the way they play both Mota and Tudor. It's an interesting one. I have no answer. I'm just guessing. There has to be some connection to like Chico is on a loan. Maybe they know he's not extending right now. Why Nico was signed and he is here to stay, at least for next season, I guess. I'm sure there are a lot of these aspects are coming into play in the decision making and stuff, but I don't know that for sure. It's a really weird one, to be honest.
Well, I'll tell you
Really
this.
weird.
None of it should matter, to be honest.
No.
You could start whoever the hell you want. I just went over the details on how much of a shit show Monza is. This has to be 3 points. The rest is nonsense. To say Nico, Chico, even Adzic, I don't care who the hell is out there. This has to be 3 points, and lineup shouldn't even be in question. if God forbid, okay, and knock on wood, but like if they slip up here in this one, there is no excuse, no lineups, no substitutions, no nothing. Flat out. Take care of business. You're at home hosting the worst side in the league.
2 wins all season. 2 wins.
Well,
from
yeah,
Monza.
Omar, you said this on one of the last shows last week. You said we need 6 points essentially to guarantee Champions League, right?
No,
No, it's going to
haven't
be
said
more
that.
than 6 points.
No,
We need more
someone
than
must have
6
said
out
that.
of
Well, a lot of it depends on the other team's results
on the
as
other
well.
teams, right? But
After the Parma
saying-
match, you pretty much have to win out almost. Like we
right,
have to
only
win all these.
we
almost.
have to win those games because we still have to play Bologna and Lazio, which are, we don't know. But the easy matches, come on.
I think 6 points against both Lazio and Bologna will guarantee.
There are
our
no
form.
easy matches for Juve. That's
regardless.
what this season has fucking shown us. There are no
Well,
easy matches.
that's
That's
the
the
problem.
problem. That's the problem. Is nobody can get in rhythm.
Yeah.
Every time this team, you think all season long that, okay, can we get momentum here? Can we build momentum? They just fall flat on their face. Parma was one of those moments, and now with Tudor, today's got to be taking care of business. I don't care, and I will not stomach any excuses, lineup substitutions, whatever. I don't care. You could play Di Gregorio as your fucking striker in this game and put Perin in goal. Find a way to win. I don't care. Seriously. Now, we get to like some of the key stats around this. All right. My God. So overall record, these teams have faced each other 7 times since 2021. Juve's won 5 matches. Monza has secured 2 victories. Okay. No draws in these encounters. Juve scored a total of 10 goals in the 7 matches, carrying a 1.43 average. Monza has netted 7, so they've got 1 goal per game. The recent meetings, we got Juve beating them 2-1. That was back, obviously, December 22nd. Back in May, Juve 2-0. December 1st, 2023, 2-1 Juve. January 29th, 2023, that was the Monza 2-0 victory. Then you had in Coppa Italia, us winning 2-1, January 19th, 2023. September 18th, 2022, that was the 1-0 Monza victory in an early start to the season that called for Allegri's head before the retiro, before the points deduction, all that crap went on.
Yeah,
So
Di Maria got red carded there, right?
Di Maria was red carded in that game. It was a shit
Was
show.
that the goal that Di Maria had that kick for the goal he scored, but then got kicked out of the game?
No, we lost that game 1-0.
Which one was the?
And
Didn't we
it was
play
like-
Monza when he did that that reverse kick thing?
I'm
and
not
scored a goal?
sure, man.
I think it was against Monza.
I don't know.
I
Now,
don't remember.
again, those are the numbers on this game. We got to take care of business. I don't care about anything else. Set the Tony. It's Daniele Perenzoni. Oh my God,
idea
what a
what that
play.
is.
Okay, so set the Tony with Daniele Perenzoni. Okay, so that's the official for today's match. This guy is 41 appearances, the majority of his experience in Serie B. Okay,
Oh boy.
5.4 yellows per game, 12 reds, and 10 PKs in 41 appearances. So
No,
those
he's gonna
either
lose control of that
either
match.
Serie B is as close to prison rules as you can get, or yeah, these guys are crazy down there. I don't know what the hell is going on, but every time we play lower sides, you get these lower rated officials, and they use those games to get them their Serie A experience. I think he's only done like 5 Serie A matches. I will take a peek there just at the Serie A experience, but this guy is Serie B predominantly. He's going to be given a shot, obviously, today in Juve Monza to add one to the tally for Serie A. It's 3 matches in Serie A. So I thought he had 5. 3 in Serie A, 4 yellows per game, no reds, 1 PK. 1 PK. So, yeah, not a lot to go on in Serie A, but Serie B, It's what we get for the official. And maybe they're just trying to get Monza used to it and who they're going to be seeing down there in Serie B. And hopefully we can add to that. Give them one of these, okay? Because now it's time for the prediction challenge. Final score, 2 tiebreakers. And Omer, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, Juve have to win this one. They just have to. They have no other options, and I think they will. And looking at Monza and how they play and their form in the league in general, I'm gonna go with a 3-0 for Juve.
Woo.
Maybe it's more wishful thinking than actually acknowledging reality, but still, I'm gonna go with the 3-0 win. I think Kolo Muani finally gets his 6th goal, and 2 others. Probably Thuram and Yildiz gets one. And that's about it.
Okay. So 3-0 from Omer. Coming in hot. Sev, what do you got?
I'm going to go 2-0 Juve. I'm not as optimistic as Omer is. I'm going to go 2-0 Juve, and I'm going to go with a Kalulu goal.
Okay.
Only because the last game, like, we're pushing up so much and cluttering that final third where I think he'll get one of those, like, Locatelli-type goals from the outside. And Berto, I need the te today against that fuck Caprari, bro.
Wait a second. We'll get on. Don't jump the guns.
Oh, dude.
We're at prediction time, for God's sakes. You slow down.
I hate that guy. Hate him.
So we got 2-0 from Michael G. We've got 3-1 to Juve from Ryan S. PK and an own goal. 4-0 hat trick. Nico. Whew. 1-0 Juve or 1-0 Monza from Tuna. No other options, he says. Okay. Forza Juve 1-0. PK goal. D-Gray in the last minute. Holy smokes. He goes over there. Amazing. You imagine? Jesus. 2-0 Juve. Michael G's actually adding his tiebreakers. Muani and Yildiz. 1 goal each half. Okay. Trim. 2-0 Juve. Kolo and Yildiz goal scorers. Kolo will score on a PK with a Monza red. Okay. Mitch coming in 2-0. Kolo with 2 goals. His last goals for Juve ever. Whew. Optimistic and dark all at once. Congratulations. I like that one. Hal's coming in here 1-0 Juve, 89th minute. Kolo Muani. Gio's coming in with the 1-1 draw. Oh my God. You want pure mayhem after this one. My goodness.
There's a lot of 1-1s, man.
My
Holy
goodness.
crap.
Okay, I'm going to go with... I don't feel the confidence in the attack, and I know how bad Monza is, but Jesus, I'm thinking 2 goals is a maximum. And nothing comes easy for us, and it would be strange to see a comfortable game, a comfortable victory, no adversity or anything in it. Everything's kind of the same in the lineup too. I'm going to go 2-1. We'll get the job done, but I think it's 2-1, and I think we score the winners probably off the foot of Kolo Muani around the 60th or 70th minute, I'm going to say, is when we actually seal it. So I think 1-1, and then we win 2-1 with a goal between the 60th and 70th minute from Kolo. And goddamn, one way or another, I hope it's just a win. 60th to 70th. There's a little bit of a bet there. Set piece goal for Vega. I tried that one last time, Pino. Hopefully it brings you better luck. Didn't bring any luck to me, all right? But book it. Dangerous words. Skanga's favorite ones, all right? Will we score a set piece? I'm a gambler, but I don't know if I'm that much of a gambler anymore. Be nice. Be nice. Listen.
The last one was against them.
Sev is kind of already... blown this one for him. Damn it. Getting way too early on it. But who gets the preliminary te? Sev obviously chooses Caprari. That's his pick.
That guy. I hate that guy.
Dish it out, Sev.
Yeah.
Dish him the day.
Oh,
Let's
I
go.
hate him.
Let's go. Dish it out.
I can't. He's got that face to him, and
Dish
he's
it
always
out, I
bitching
said.
about
Just
quality.
dish it out. Let's go. You got to do it. Give him the day.
I'm trying like to just keep it like okay for the kids who are listening, but fuck that guy. I
Just
can't.
give him the day, man. Let's go.
Oh,
Get
you
it
want me to
over
do it?
with. Let's go.
Oh, you want me to do it? I was leaving
Do
it up
it.
to you.
No, it's your guy. Do it. There you go. Okay. Omar, who are you giving your preliminary day to?
I don't like Castrovilli. Birindelli gets away with it because of his name. I
Yes.
really don't like. It's not that I don't like him, but Kyriakopoulos annoys me every time we play against him, even before he was at Monza. Although I think he's a sick purchase for like a substitute left back. I wouldn't mind if you bought him, but he gets the te today. So,
Kyriakopoulos. Holy. All right. All right.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Mota, man. He's got it's spelt differently, but he shares the name of the last coach that pissed me right off, and he's got a one strike right there. He's always a handful to play against. He's annoying as hell. It's him, mostly because of the name too. So Mota, you're gonna get my preliminary day. There you go. There you go. All right. So those are dished out and out of the way. And yes, PTSD, it's got to go to him just because of the name. Love it. Love it. Now, Storm the Barn. We got some time. We're going to tackle some of these. Let's see what we got in here from the Army.
So, I had one.
Oh, we're going to start with yours then. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, it came up when we talked earlier about strikers. So when do you feel you've had the best set of strikers? Like if you want to change the game or do something differently, you had the options. For example, Llorente, Tevez, and Morata. Go back in your history, think about a combination of strikers that played for Juve at the same time. You can go Del Piero, Zlatan, Trezeguet, Iaquinta, Amaury, Trezeguet, whatever you want. Think about it. What's the best trio you can think of?
That's tough because you just named the two that I would probably go to. But
Vialli, Ravanelli with Del Piero coming off the bench was like insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was insane.
There was a time you had like Henry, Vieri, afterwards Inzaghi, Del Piero. I mean, you had with Boksic and Jugovic and a lot of players' names who went around Juve.
There's a lot of ones. I'd go exactly back to those. Like, that was crazy. Baggio, Vialli, Ravanelli was insane. The fact that Del Piero joined into that was crazy. What was it around the 05 and 06 when you had like Del Piero, Trez, and Ibra was crazy. Crazy one.
And Zalaeta.
Yeah, like, and there's a lot of shouts for that one. Del Piero,
the Ronaldo,
Trez, Ibra.
The
A
Ronaldo, Dybala.
Shout here for Mandzukic, Ronaldo, Dybala.
Yeah.
That's a
but
great
I would
one.
go back to that, and I'm probably biased there because that's when I first started watching Juve, and just those guys were incredible. But who would your pick be then, Omer and Sav? Like, what are your
Mine?
picks?
I really think the first one I gave out was actually working out great, and everyone you brought in kind of gave something different, but you could start either three of them. So Llorente, Tevez, and Morata were a great mix of players. If you want to add like a Vucinic, Quagliarella, Matri, whoever was around those times, I think you had a great attack. Great options.
There you
It's
go.
tough. I mean, that Ronaldo, Dybala, Chiesa, Morata type year. And then there was the Iaquinta year too.
If
That's
I'm
a
not
tough-
going with one of mine, like my earlier one, which is the one I pick, Baggio, Vialli, Ravanelli, hands down, and Del
Yeah.
Piero was a part of that, I would have to include one with Pipita. Like, the Pipita Dybala was like crazy, and yeah, it would have to
Pepita,
probably be
Dybala,
one with them.
Mandzukic.
What's that?
Yeah, with Mandzukic as the third. Yeah,
And
that's a great
Mandzukic was
combo
in there
too.
in that group too. Like, that'd probably be the group I'm going with. I think Costa was in that group too.
You even
Oh,
had
that's right.
Morata,
Costa
Dybala,
was-
Mandzukic. for one season.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably go that route too. That, but there's like, I mean, my God. It's, I'm never going to switch my number one choice there. But yeah, some
Yeah,
good picks there. Good
Yep.
picks.
yeah.
Why do we have such a problem lately? Jesus, from those names to just like a misfits. Just misfit squads out here. Like, let's go. Let's go. Get it right. Why wasn't Locatelli able to drive my car? Because it was a
Oh, Lord.
manual.
Here it
Straight red.
comes.
Straight
That's a
red,
straight
man.
red.
No, no.
Straight.
That's
Actually, you know what? That's pretty good, Adam. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. I
You're-
revoke the
you're
red.
like a-
After we're going to VAR. We're going to
you
VAR.
act like a Serie B ref. Come on, give him some leash.
We're going to VAR. Actually, we're gonna revoke that card, right? I'll agree. We're gonna revoke that card. That was actually the best one he's done. So okay,
That's funny.
that's actually good. Good stuff, Adam. I like that one. Is
I told you to
Juve
go.
a stepping stone club now? No.
No,
I would hate to think that.
I'll tell you why I feel like it isn't, because, and I mean, it's almost like you have to wait and see. Something that I've spoken a lot about at that one point of the season where we're trying to see like where we're going. And we were waiting for some key indications, some key signs financially as to where we're going. We got a big news on the positive in the books. First time in like, what, 5 years? The books are right. And again, with this news of Elkin willing to step in, 100 million bond, you've got Tether willing to help recapitalize. If you stop that, we have to sell shit. If you stop that, that's half the battle, because now you get into actual squad building. And I said it, even some of these picks that we've made in the years building up to this were picks that we made not because of character, not because of DNA, not because of this. Like, it was strictly the terms. So we haven't even technically essentially been building the way we may have wanted to. We may have been settling quite a bit. The biggest thing that had to happen was get all that right. So I am still going to say no. But the future will tell us how they act with certain talents. And even if they get rid of a talent that we maybe feel they shouldn't, it's what happens on the back end of it. Because if they put together 3 wicked signings and the group is stronger overall, well, then that might make sense for the build too. Because we've always sold talents. Always. That's not going to change. But we've always had solid clubs. Like, you've always built strong sides. The management is key, though, in building those clubs. And, like, Juntoli's got flags all around. Like, can he build the club for us? Can he do that? He did a good job, a strong job at Napoli with less resources. The books are right. You're on thin ice. He may not even be involved next year either. That's up in the air. So let's see. But I do not feel we're a stepping stone club. Not right now.
I don't think we are a stepping stone club. I do believe we're a sort of a train station club at the moment. Maybe to some it would be exactly the same as a stepping stone. For me, it's not. Players are coming and going. A lot of the youngsters we sold, it's not like they saw Juve as this stepping stone club to bigger things. They were sold because Juve needed money. Sule didn't want to leave. Roysen didn't want to leave. Kulusevski was due to Allegri, and all of the other names I can put out there.
Fagioli
So
too,
you
yeah.
sometimes, yeah, so you sometimes get your Di Marias and stuff, but you like don't get permanent mainstays. But it's also not a stepping stone because where they're going is not exactly a stepping stone for all of them. And most of the guys who left didn't move to like, greener pastures. It just didn't work out for Juve, so they moved on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just blabbing. but
We're all just
but
blabbing, to be fair.
yeah,
But
but
Sev, anything to
train
add on the
station feels
stepping
more.
stone feeling?
No, just to piggyback off of what you said, the tether thing makes me feel a little bit better about it. Where we, God forbid, we don't get top four, we don't have to worry about selling Yildiz or, stuff like that. Or
Hopefully.
God forbid, like ever have to sell a Bremer. Like Jesus.
Hopefully,
Like,
it's like if we make those moves, it's a decision we've made to like better the group and not because like we have to because of the financial burden. That's what I'm trying to get at is like,
yeah,
it's not saying that we won't ever do it. It's just that we're doing it on our terms. That's what has to happen. It can't be like we're forced into doing we have to move you because we need the money right now, which is exactly what we've seen these past couple summers, especially last summer. It's just like they want to finally wipe the slate clean. They have an opportunity. Yeah, it was young talent sacrifice for the capital, but they did it. And now we're pretty much there, pretty much home free. It's like, let's get into a situation where we're not forced. And that's what I'm trying to say.
What makes you a stepping stone club?
I say
Like
when
point.
all you care about, if you're a stepping stone club, all you care about is not necessarily where you rank in the table, but it's like just keeping things consistent, bringing in talent, developing it, and selling it.
well, that's
That's
Atalanta,
a stepping
right?
stone club.
Yeah, I think it's in the eyes of the players, how the players who come to you view you as. Because, like I said, most of those youngsters didn't want to leave; they were kind of forced to leave. So, if in their eyes Juve is not a stepping stone, and they wanted to stay here, then that kind of settles it for me. But it can
In the
change easily.
in the grand scheme of things, in the reality of how it is, everyone is technically a stepping stone club to like like if a Real Madrid comes calling, how many guys are staying at any club? Let's be honest.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's a good point is also that look at the last few years. Look at the teams we have sold to. They're all underneath us, essentially.
Yeah.
They're all middle table clubs. They're not Real Madrid. They're not City. They're not, you know, like going up in class. We're selling to lower teams. So when you sell to lower teams, you're not really a stepping stone club.
That's one way to look at it, yeah. It's
You know?
I just don't get those vibes. I just don't get that feeling. But again, depends how we move forward with certain talents, I'd probably say. But we'll leave it at that because we got to keep things rolling. Are you sure back in the glory days, we made no mistakes? It was just not that easy to get info back then. Who knows? Oh, I'm sure. I know mistakes were made back in the glory days too.
Tons of mistakes.
Yeah. It's
Salah
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. With talents, there's hit and miss. Don't forget, everybody. Beppe Marotta brought in Del Neri. It was a disaster. Like, that was him. He was allowed to continue, and it was great after. He also had some brutal signings to his name, too. Marotta did. Like,
Yeah.
it happens.
Lucio, Pacienza, all those names you don't even remember played for you.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry was a tough one, man, because like we just had no idea, and he was not being utilized. But we talk about it with the guys that were around at that time. For him to break in at the attack, it's like
he wasn't playing for Juve like he played for Arsenal afterwards.
Yeah, it was crazy.
He wasn't playing enough. Like
He just came at the wrong. I just feel it was bad timing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, is Tether legit, or is it one of those flop companies that can collapse any day? Any idea? They seem legit from everything that we can read up on and see. And I would like to think that we would not go to that degree and get them and them getting into these shares and everything if they were just a flop company that could collapse like that. But
Are they like cybersecurity? What are they doing?
Crypto. They're like in the crypto world.
Yeah, so it's something that's not going to go away. soon or disappear. They're kind of super heavily advanced in technology, so I don't think they can disappear. They said they have billions if they want to invest in Juve. So I don't think they're this type of company that disappears overnight, unless they're doing something really shady, and
Yeah.
that's
So,
different.
and I mean, it's already been going since, well, their claim is 2014. And then I think in 2018 they got a serious ownership group developed there. Giancarlo Devasini is one of those guys involved that I think wanted ties to Juve, and then of course we've heard a lot from Paolo Ardoini. But yeah, they're just it's cryptocurrency,
It's
and
it's tough to tell with them also because they are a crypto company and they're not a trading stock like in the market, so you
one
can't
of the
really
world's
gauge.
largest and most traded stablecoin anyways is what their
Yeah,
thing is. Can we start buying players in crypto though, and will they give us just endless crypto? That's amazing.
I'll
Let's
take it.
do it. Let's do
Depends
it.
what you're dealing with.
The world of football switches to crypto, and then we are the bosses and we overrun. Imagine. Amazing. The impact of serious injuries on your squad. Did you guys watch Real Madrid's defense yesterday versus Barca? What a mess. Reminded me about Juve's scrambles the whole season. But all blame Ancelotti. I will say this. Real Madrid fans fucking cry way too much. Seriously. For
It's
how
not
good...
even Real
For,
Madrid fans. It's Real Madrid themselves. They don't know if you followed what they did
Well,
prior to that
even the
match.
club, like just in general, they fucking cry so much. It makes me sick. Like for a team that is as successful as them, has endless fucking revenue, all this, it's just fucking cry all the time. I couldn't care less.
Cry in
I
advance.
actually, you know what? Throw them in the mix. I fucking hate Real Madrid. You just made the
Yeah,
list. Okay?
yeah. I mean,
I'm sick of them.
they published a video of all the mistakes of the referees who were going to like referee that match. Before the match, the official account of Real Madrid posted a 6-minute video of referee mistake against them by all the referees were there. Now that's insane for me. That's absolutely insane. That the referee had to go on national TV and said, "Look, you're ruining my life. Like my son is getting laughed at school because of this bullshit." I mean, it was really pathetic. They were kind of setting the ground for losing because they have lost like I don't know 4-0 and 5-2 to Barca this season. So they kind of setting the ground to it was the referee is not going to let us win no matter what happens. It was just pathetic, to be honest.
It's
I haven't seen anything like it.
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I don't know. It's just the fans, man. The fans with the constant crying. It's just like you guys have no idea. No idea that you can like you've been buying players at astronomical fees, and you've been missing on some, and it hasn't even phased you to where the points of if like we splash on a guy and it goes wrong, we're ruined and we're feeling the effects for years. And it's like you guys laugh it off and just like sign an up and coming kid for 80 million euros and don't bat an eye. And it's just like over and over and over, but they still just like, oh, it's never enough. And it's like, you guys
Well,
pump the brakes and take it easy.
essentially, Real
Ancelotti, if it's not Ancelotti, it's somebody else. There's always scapegoats there, but it's
Real,
just like relax,
Real
relax.
Madrid, Real Madrid, and their fans are basically like a fat kid in a candy store that cries when they run out of candy. Like
Yeah,
that's what that is.
basically,
So
man.
Even
give me a
before
break.
they run out of candy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable,
But yeah,
and it's
to
hilarious
his
too.
point, yeah, their defense is shockingly bad right now. Rudiger is not nothing close to like Ramos or Varane or Pepe when they were there, and they have been suffering from tons of injuries too defensively. But I don't feel
I
sorry for
can't
them.
stand
I just
Rudiger, man. Like Rudiger, I can't stand that guy, man.
Oh, I hate him.
I
He
don't
he
like.
would always
I
get
don't
a
like.
death from me.
Yeah.
He just moves so awkward too. Like just even the way he runs, it's just everything about him so awkward. I'm like, man. I
Yeah,
remember
I don't
him.
like
Was
him.
who was he running around for? Like Roma? I think he was with Roma for a while.
Yeah, he was with Roma for a
Yeah,
while.
Well,
couldn't
you know what it
stand.
is? I think it's also a sense of entitlement that you get when you are on that team because, and Pino just brought this up in the chat. We were actually at the Juve Real Madrid game in Orlando last year. And when we won 3-0, yes, it was a preseason game. The fans were like, who is this Juventus? How dare they? Like, they beat us? Like, they have that thing to them. They have, like, that sense of entitlement. It's crazy. The fans
They're
literally
arrogant,
sitting next to
man.
me
They're
were like,
the arrogance that comes from winning,
yeah,
right? Like,
yep.
and winning a lot, to be fair, but I still hate him. Fuck him. Who's the 3 best players in the roster? No injuries, and why is the ranking 1 D grade, 2 D grade, 3 D grade? Forza Juve with the D grade love there. Okay, this is good. Let's rate the 3 best players on the roster, and even the injured guys. Whatever. Number 1 is easy for me. I've already said he's our only actual superstar. It's Bremer.
Yeah.
One's Bremer.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah, that's
If
an
I
easy
go
one.
with number 2.
Is it just this year?
Well, yeah, it's our current roster.
Okay.
Based on this season, I think Ildiz deserves a shout. He deserves one of those spots. And I'm kind of torn between Thuram and Kalulu. Although I really, really like Thuram, Kalulu. I don't know where I would be without him. If you remember the first 4 or 5 months of the season, he was pivotal. It was one great performance after another. Then he kind of fell off because of the injury, but he was super important. So those are the guys. I think I'd give the edge to Ram though. I think
I
Bremer
kind of
is to Ram.
I want to throw Locatelli in there on one of those spots. I really, really do.
So
but
do I.
Like, it sucks because Yildiz should be in there, and I think Thuram should be in there.
Well, let
Look,
Bremer
Di
open
Gregorio
up a spot
also-
because he hasn't
And
played.
Tigre could be in there. I'm gonna go Bremer, Thuram, and I will go with Yildiz. I'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think
go
goalkeepers shouldn't be in that list. It's just not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Plus, I want to take Bremer out of it only because he's not played. You know, like,
Oh,
Let's
but
say
he
Yeah,
said,
and
but he
through
said
the
no
absence, we've
injuries, no
seen the
nothing.
importance. Bremer's
Yeah.
easily number 1.
But he said no injuries, no nothing.
right. That's why I'm saying, yeah. But Loca is definitely a 3A, I would put.
Yeah, an
Yeah,
honorable
I
with,
agree.
and even Digre. I mean, yeah, Digre's
Yeah.
been great. What do we got here? I feel like the squad just has no belief. Can they find that grinta, or are they mentally defeated? Man, this thing with this whole mentality and everything is just like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Well,
It's gotten to the point that I don't really give a fuck anymore. Like like there's just so much we can pin on mentality. At the
I
end
feel
of the day,
like
those are
what I
those
was
are
saying
football-
after the
football
Parma match
players.
is like, I also feel like sometimes this whole mentality thing is like, and even with Tudor coming out and saying it, whatever, I don't have a problem with him saying it and saying that, like, yeah, we feel the weight in the locker room, whatever. Guess what? That's never going to go away. It's always going to be there. But our actual game play and game plan fails and actively fails out there. So to just like also throw it back on mentality kind of is like a cop out for a shitty fucking like performance in general and just shitty play, like no ideas, no creation. What the fuck is mentality gonna do when your guys have no chemistry on the fucking field? Like, you could put a bunch of fucking winners together, it doesn't automatically guarantee that it's going to all fit the bill. It's all going to work and it's all going to just mesh and tick like that. Oh, these guys are mental monsters. I'm just going to put them out there. They'll sort it out. It doesn't also fucking work like that. Like you have to have certain cogs. You have to have certain pieces that like make it all function, make it all work. That was a fucking mess against Parma offensively. And that's not mentality. That's just these guys having zero idea how to play together as a unit in the final third. And the only thing that happened was Yildiz came on and Chico came on, and they tried everything in their power to do something on their own accord. But again, the mentality isn't strong, because mentality comes from experience, comes from winners. Like, you have to have that across a group, and it has to be groomed too from the organization.
You can't have it being the reason for every time you dropped points.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's an excuse on occasions, specifically for me, like elimination matches. And there are teams that are better at that. Usually, like, don't want to say lower tier teams, but your Portos and Villarreals, they kind of find this mentality when it's needed. But you can't go into every match like, oh, we've got the right mentality, so the rest can just, you can throw it out the door. The mentality is all that matters. How many teams are winning constantly based on mentality?
Yeah.
It can get you through the line on a lot of occasions, but it's not like a tactics, and I don't accept it as an excuse for dropping points continuously.
Mentality is also like mistaken sometimes for energy and like grinta and like all that and stuff, but it's like that's a bare minimum. Like energy and whatnot, I don't even tie into mentality. Like that should just be a must and has to be there. Like if you're talking mentality, I'm talking about like when shit does go sideways and you can battle through and like you find a way and like that's kind of like
adversity.
Mentality is like being unfazed by adverse scenarios. So you could kind of tie that in loosely to the other game, but it would still be a major cop-out because they still had drive. You could still see them pushing. They just had no ideas. So I don't put that last one to mentality more so than I do just a terrible, terrible game plan and execution.
When the team does give up, it's evident. Like when you watch a match and you know they gave up, it's evident. They didn't lost belief in the Parma match. They just couldn't break that low block, but it wasn't like they weren't trying. So I wouldn't put that one on mentality. There are games in the season like Empoli close to the end was just mentality. They gave up.
Yeah. We're going to try machine gun a couple more. Do you think the bad era is over next season if Conte would come?
I want to believe it does. But like, if there's anything we've come to learn in the past 5 years is can't bank on any of that. We've been here talking repeatedly about it's not only a manager issue. So Conte alone and everything stays the way it is, I wouldn't bet on it. But if we're talking about management up top, above Conte, then I can go safely into this argument and say, yeah, that might be the turning point for you. But it's not only a manager thing. We know that.
Yeah, I kind of agree, Omar. I don't think that it's just one thing. And Berto's been saying this for how long, where it's not just the coach, it's not just the players, it's not just the management, it's all of it combined. So you could bring Conte in next year, you can get a couple of nice little moves in the offseason, but if the management is the same, then we might still be in the same boat that we are in now. So we all thought Motta was going to thrive here. And because of what he did last year. So you really just never know. You don't know.
I feel confident in saying we would immediately be feared again and he would bring better results. We would easily be a top 2 side with Conte.
It will be a step forward, a huge step forward.
But we said that last year, though.
No, my expectations of Motta were top 2. My confidence in it, it could have been shaken. I wasn't like guaranteed this is my expectation was top 2. Because I think with the summer we had, the team, the roster that was built, I think it suits him. It suits his style of play, and top 2, that's my expectation. My confidence level would have been different. Same thing with Conte. My confidence in Conte is higher than Tudor's, higher than Pioli, higher than fucking Mancini.
Yeah.
My confidence level in him is strong. And I mean, he hit a lot of cons that I had on the Conte list this season at Napoli. A few cons that I had on the list for him got checked off by the work he's done there. But again, there is no guarantees, but my confidence level would be high that we would be feared and be a top 2 side fighting for the title. But again, we could also just be the same and struggle. Who knows? Rate 95 Juve in 2025 from 1 to 10. Management, coaches, players overall. So what, the Champions League winning side? And 2025, rate them from, oh my God. Well, it's, what are we talking about?
I was 6 at the time, so I can't add a whole lot.
It's not even close. I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, we don't even have to rate them individually. I mean, the players are not even fucking close. It's not even close. You've got incredible players scattered across that 95-96 roster. You have your underrated players that are fantastic in that 95-96 squad. Coach?
Yeah.
One of my favorite of all time, Lippi. Like, it's not even fucking close.
Yeah.
Put Motta together with Tudor and Conte, and I'd pick Lippi.
Yeah, no, it's not even
close.
Yeah, 95 is a 10 and 2025 is a 1. That's the rating I give it.
Weston McKennie, Gio coming in here. Is Wes a fraud who is only good for half a season, or is he just playing too much? I say fraud. Weston McKennie, a fraud.
No, I disagree with that. He's just tired and overplayed. He's overplayed.
Hard to say a utility guy is a fraud because he's just a utility guy, right? I don't think the left outside or the left wing positions when we played him there, even striker, are like ideal for the guy. I think he's played a bunch. I wouldn't say he's a fraud because he's a utility guy. One way or another, all the guys that have come through play West pretty damn consistently. So if you want to use that argument for Nico, it stands true to Wes.
Yeah, I don't think he's a fraud. I think it depends a lot on our expectations, what we expected to see from him. Like if we expected the next Davids, then he's a fraud. He's not the next Davids. He's just a utility player. It's very hard to call him a fraud.
It's a midfielder that plays anywhere but, and has played anywhere but is essentially what he is. If he was playing midfielder all the time and failing, I'd be like, this guy's a fraud. But he's fucking played everywhere but goalie.
Like, there are bigger frauds on this team than McKennie. Just take it for what it is. He's a rotational player who can play multiple positions. He's not going to be anything beyond that, I believe.
Storm the barn for me. Who's the biggest fraud on Juve?
Right now?
Yeah. Biggest fraud, chat. Hit me. Let's go. Biggest fraud.
I think it has to be Dusan.
Has to be.
Oh, I disagree. Sorry.
How can it not at that price tag, that salary? He's not even close to that.
Coop Miners to me.
The only issue with Coop Miners for me is that's his first season. Okay, it was awful, but he can turn it around. Dusan, what is it? His fourth season. We kept waiting.
I sent that clip in our chat. This was a fucking warm up before a game. He's 7 yards out, center of the box, getting spoon fed crosses, and he misses the target on a header. That's Sunday league bullshit. This guy's making what, 10.5 net a year? No, man, he's a fraud.
The only reason why I'll put Dusan as the second one, only because Dusan still has had moments here in a Juve kit. Coop has none.
Over
Zero.
how many years? Because Coop just got here, man. He's literally just got here. He cost 60. Dusan cost 80. Dusan also is like, he's fucking failed under all the coaches and all the systems. The service can only go so far before it's like, it's 3 years, man. Like, he's
Dusan
a fraud.
wasn't this bad last year. He wasn't this bad last year.
Yeah, but it was still bad.
Yeah,
like
I'll give you that.
You're arguing what's the bigger pile of shit, but it's shit, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
bullshit.
I mean, you can look at the stats and say, okay, Dusan is still our top scorer and a top assister this season. But it's based on watching the matches and seeing the way he conducts himself, the way he plays. Just it gives up so easily. He gets manhandled by 19-year-old center backs.
Yeah.
And he's just not up to the standard that I expected of him, and it's been going on for 3.5 years. And I was a big Dusan believer, a huge Dusan believer. I only flipped this season when it just
hit a point where you can't. It hit a point where you can't, like, it's almost impossible to defend. Like, it's just almost impossible to defend now. Like, it's just.
I know that.
You know,
just going on member chat. I've been dying on that hill.
He's a fraud, man. I'm sorry. Sev, I'm sorry. He's a fraud. Now, gold miners could very well be one as well, but 3 years.
You know what it is? I think the Coop miners with me was the struggle to get him. I feel like we got Dusan a lot easier, where we didn't like.
Well, sure, because we forked out fucking 81 or 82 mil. I mean, yeah. In January, for Christ's sake.
And
I hope it's easy. So Fiorentina built their friggin' park with our money. They built Viola Park, and we're laughing all the way to the bank.
And they were going on his last year of his contract, so it was kind of, they had to sell him if they wanted that price or go into his final season. So the situation was different a bit.
Yeah.
But we did spend a lot on him to eventually get what we got.
The salary's unreal. Oh, man. The curse of Susan. Or Dusan. Mm-hmm. Dusan. Now. Shushan. How many goals do you want Barca to score against Inter? I actually had a dream that it was the first match that ended with one team hitting triple digits for goals. So 100 goals in one match. Barca scored. Oh my God, man. As many as possible. I will dish out a day on every single goal, man. Get them out as quick as possible. But today, God damn it. No slip-ups can be afforded. Have to take care of business against Monza. Watch along is going to kick off in about an hour and 10 minutes. Hope to see you all back sharing in the live reactions with me. Omer, Sev, always an absolute pleasure, guys. Had a lot of fun getting ready for this one. Yeah, it's all noise, everybody. And it comes down to just taking care of business. I don't care about mentality. I don't care about lineups. I don't care about tactics. Like, I don't care about any of this shit right now. It's Monza. 2 wins. Period. For them. All year. Take care of business. All right? Get the job done. Can't wait to see you all in about an hour and 10 minutes. We'll reconvene and then get to the live action. As always, fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.